How many of you are afraid of pitching? How many of you find networking very difficult? Okay. Wow, it's too loud. So you all know my name, Walid, and I'm managing the Game Executive Program at Aalto University Executive Education. But I also coach people as a hobby. So I've coached people from 5-year-olds to 75-year-olds. And I've coached people in the game industry, and I've coached them outside of the game industry. So what I'm going to give you today, it's based on my experience. Some of you who know me, you can call me, you know that I'm a networking machine. So I hope I can help you become at least 1% of what I am. On the brochure it says 25, and I think there's more than 25 tips. So I hope that you can manage, and if you don't, I will share the slides. And if you don't keep up, you can always email me, or also invite me to do the coaching in your company. So I've been coaching companies in the games and outside of the games to to learn about pitching and networking in general. And if any of you have read the article, Is Silence Killing Your Company? That's the main reason that sometimes ideas are lost. So pitching is not only for startups. Pitching is anywhere. You pitch for ideas, and you pitch for insights and so on. So the main point about pitching and networking is to sell something to someone. It's not only to sell products or services for money, but there's this thing called a sales wheel. So you sell to colleagues, you sell to sponsors, to friends, to experts. At my job, I actually have to sell ideas to my manager so she can approve. I have to get the best professors to come to my programs. And they are really busy, so I have to kind of find the best communication method for them to at least get excited about what we're doing and so on. So the only thing that is missing there is my wife. She said I can't add her there because she doesn't approve of me pitching to her. But you can add your wife there if you want, if she will say yes. So the main reason why a 5-year-old and a 75-year-old fail at pitching is that they don't know why they're pitching. It's the most fundamental thing about pitching. You should know why you're doing it. To make it a little bit easier, you should know who you're pitching, and you should be very specific. You should narrow it down at least to one person or a group of people. When you say I'm pitching to investors, it's not enough. Some investors post their MBTI to help you learn how to pitch to them. So be specific. And also learn about what do you want these investors to do for you. So I want this investor to invest 1 million euros for 25%. I want my manager to approve this project and give me a budget for 6 months, 5-people team, 20,000 euros, let's put it this way. And you should know why, like the substance that you're pitching. Is it a company, is it a concept, is it a game, IP? You should be very specific where you do that. People make mistakes here by making it too complicated or pitching to 2 different groups. Usually pitching is a form of persuasion. So this guy doesn't want to eat a donut, he ends up eating a donut because of the message there. Some people challenge that, say it's manipulation, but pitching is not manipulation. And there's so many articles about persuasion. I recommend you to read about them. Networking is a process, and in every stage there's a pitch. So first you raise awareness, then you follow up, then you close a deal. In Finland, we're very shy about closing deals. It's an email away or a phone call away. I don't know in the Nordics. I know in the UK and America we're good at closing deals, but it's just to understand that it's a process. You cannot close from the first contact, and you need to be okay that not every closing is a successful closing. You should be okay with the no. So the relationship between pitching and networking is this. Like your networking is 1,000 times pitching to 1,000 different people. And this is not Yoda saying that, it's me, but I like Yoda. So, one mistake that people do is that they want to create a perfect pitch and then they go out there. I say don't do that because you waste time, and by the time you have a perfect pitch, the opportunity is gone. So I recommend to create a shitty pitch and just go there, and you learn as you go. A lot of people challenge me that say, okay, what if I pitch to an investor and lose them? Don't pitch to that investor. Pitch to other people that you don't care about. Find a proxy. So imagine a single guy in a bar, you like a girl, don't pitch to her first. Go pitch to 5 other girls first. That's the logic. So don't waste time on building a perfect pitch. A lot of people tell me, oh, I'm an introvert. Introverts are the best pitchers because they don't talk too much like I do. I usually talk too much. So introverts, when they learn the art of pitching and they get some courage, they think about it so many times that they actually deliver a good pitch. Extroverts, they can say a lot of bullshit, so. But you have to excuse us because we are charismatic and we think as we go. So introverts can be really good pitchers. This is one of my favorite slides. People forget what is the role of pitching. You're actually throwing a message into someone's face. So when you're pitching, there's 2 outcomes. The person receives it or the person throws it away. And your role there is just to understand that not everyone wants to hear your ideas, or you need to find the right time to throw those ideas, or just understanding that role is important. This is my favorite slide. I tend to be here because I could be a clown, and most extroverts, they like to be super engaging, super cool. And introverts and shy people are on that side. So the formula here is to find the balance and to push the normal side to be a little bit more interesting and engaging, and the weird side to be credible and to be clear. Why is that? Because when you are pitching in a crazy way, you lose the credibility. People think like, oh, you cannot be trusted. And there, they fall asleep. So you don't want them to fall asleep. Or you don't want them to start thinking about what will they drink tonight or what would they watch on Netflix tonight. That's the main point. Balance is always a good thing for both sides. And your main point from pitching is to maximize every opportunity. So there's no point pitching without the aim of getting a yes. You're wasting your time. Even if you pitch without preparation and you have a shitty pitch, you're actually pitching to learn how to pitch, get better, and to get some confidence. But remember my friend Max, he will help you. Maximize every opportunity. And I've done a talk before that in Pocket Gamer Helsinki about the structure and about always asking. So you always have to ask when you pitch. Some variables that affect your pitch. Timing is when to pitch. I covered that in the previous talk, so you can watch the video. Tone is how you look and how you sound. Are you speaking calmly? Are you showing confidence or reliability? Or are you dressing up properly? So in some situations you need to wear a suit. You need to have your hair done. You need to have makeup. So it's the tone, is what people see about your presentation. Time is to speak just enough, not too long, not too little. If you speak too long, you end up losing because you might have said too much. And if you speak too little, you just wasted time because the people leave without thinking that they got the full picture. They think like, there's something about this, I don't feel it. And content is really important. There's 3 elements in the content. There's the physical, technical, and emotional. You need to balance these 3. The physical is the words, the technical is the jargon like LTV, CPI. Too much jargon makes it weird, unclear. And remember to show some passion, you know? When I pitch, I really enjoy it. When I sell, I really love it because I believe that when I pitch, I help people. I help them get some value from what I'm doing. If you don't believe in it, change. And if you believe in it and you don't show enthusiasm, the content is not balanced. So you don't maximize it. There's a structure. I covered this in the previous talk. This is not the Bible, but this works. The punchline after high, it's important because people have a short attention span, so you have to have a very clear punchline. Problem, solution, values, it's about the product. Business model, team, traction, it's about the business. Always remember to ask, always end with a thank you, especially if you're on stage. I covered this in the last talk, so you can actually watch the video. When you're pitching a complex product, you make mistakes by being unclear. So on the left side, I call this Mona Lisa. I ask my students to draw a frame and then to draw a car. So here is a good example of a company, let's say a game company, Rovio. So they're pitching, let's say, the whole company when they need to pitch Angry Birds. So you need to know if you're pitching the wheel or the whole company, or you're pitching an electric car or a normal car. So in that situation, you need to specify and differentiate. So how different is this car, and what kind of a car is it? And in the other one, it's kind of a software, a complex game. You need to simplify it in a few sentences. Explain, for example, this is an Airbnb for whatever, or this is a game, multiplayer game for like running multiplayer game and so on. People always ask me how long a pitch should be. I say between 3 minutes and 1 hour. 3 minutes is the standard on the stage. For example, now I'm doing a 15-minute talk, but you can have a pitch up to 1 hour. So the structure that I showed you, you can expand it. 30 seconds pitch, because you need to pitch all the time to many people, like 1,000 people, 1,000 times. And you need to have one sentence that summarizes what you do. So there's no one answer, like how long it is. You should adapt to every situation and every place and every audience. Practice. That's the only way you will get confidence. That's the only way you learn about pitching and networking. If you sit at home and you want to learn about pitching, you will never succeed. If you really try, you have a bigger chance. That's the only way. You know, when I do my workshops, I make people pitch 15 times, and then they go on stage and they rock. Not in Slovakia, but in all the other places. I've coached in Slovakia and didn't work. I don't know why. Finns are shy, but they always deliver on the stage. In Slovakia, they're maybe shy about the English, but I'll fix that. I'll go there again. But, you know, people ask me or tell me that, oh, I'm afraid to pitch or I'm afraid to speak in public. The first time I talked, I flunked. The second time, the third time. Now I'm so comfortable about it. I'm hangover. We stay till 5 a.m. and I still can do it. So the point is, with practice, you'll get not only confidence, but you'll learn what you're good at and what you're not good at. One important element about pitching is listening. So when you pitch to people, pick those who will give you the honest, the brutal feedback, and you improve when you're going. How much time do I still have?
3 minutes.
Okay. Push versus pull. So there are many strategies to pitch. This is strategy in selling also. Like when you push, you're actually showing all the benefits, and you're asking them to buy right here, right now. You have a big brand and you need the volumes. When you're pulling, you're actually waiting for them to come to you. And pulling is usually more effective if you have new, high-quality products. So you show how different and special they are. So these are just techniques. I recommend you to also explore this more, like read more about push versus pull, because you can apply those strategies in pitching. Storytelling is important. So, for example, when I told you about my wife, I had a point now. I made my wife watch Mad Max 2, and she had to make me watch these chick flicks 9 times. Yay, beer. So for me, it was a success, because if you remember that networking and pitching is a process, and you need to persuade. So I told her, like, oh, we watched Twilight and all these other chick flick movies, and it's time to watch Mad Max. She hated it, but I bought her candy and popcorn and Coca-Cola, and I told her, like, hey, how about this time we watch a movie that I want? It was a huge success because we did something I liked for once. And, you know, she's a lawyer. She always wins with her arguments. And for me, it was a great thing because I actually use that on a daily basis. I use it at work. I use it at home. And storytelling in this case, like how do you convey this thing? How do you, and these are just tips to pitch better. So it's like level 4 of pitching. If you have the structure, if you are confident, if you practice enough, you can then throw a few stories. Improvisation is important. So I recommend that you do some courses in improvisation. It really helps. And it's not acting. It's just what do you do, for example, if the mic is not working? What do you do if something goes wrong? This is my favorite thing. This is something I recommend everyone to do for any conference. Quality is important, but quantity is also. This is a networking situation. It's like now, I set a target to meet 100 people. So this includes you guys. So maybe 50 guys now here, check. You met me. But I also, it's true. And I also set a target that I meet 5 quality contacts from my London. And that's how I sold it to my manager. I said like, hey, I'm going to meet 5 potential clients or 5 potential partners before I come back to Helsinki. So set clear targets before any mission. Not only knowing why, but set targets. And quality and quantity. Because the more people you meet, the more you have an opportunity to maximize this whole journey. And even if you meet someone who is not good enough, give them some attention, but know how to leave that situation. If you remember the time, don't stay too long. Maximize it. And always help each other. So I have Annette here. We always help each other. And we use this, like, have you met Ted? Have you met this? Have you met that? And it really works, like, especially with people who know you and who know what you're doing. And if they meet someone, they will help you. They will pitch for you. So I learned her pitch, and she learned mine somehow. And this is a tip that really works. So I'm going to set a challenge for you guys to arrange 3 introductions to other people. So try to do that. And ask me to help you also. So thank you.